Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I know we're covering a lot of time zones for today's session, and welcome to the second session of the Entytle Training Series. Just a couple of notes before we get started here. Have an exciting event today. So today will be about researching customers, really leveraging our customer and location 360. So this again is the second installment of our training series. If you missed the first one, there is a recording of that one, and that is around the install-based filtering. And then we are doing these bi-weekly. So next session will be May 8th, where we'll be talking through creating and working a pipeline. So really getting into more detailed and specific install-based filtering and creating those pipelines. And during the last session, we'll get into the mobile app and how you can utilize the mobile app that's on Android and iOS. As always, if you have any suggestions, any recommendations, any training sessions you would like us to host, please feel free to drop those in the chat or send me an email. We'll be looking to gather some suggestions for future sessions like this to provide kind of more training for our customers. So would definitely greatly appreciate feedback as we continue to build out these sessions. So to give an overview of today's session before really I jump into the meat of this, which will be our demo, is just to talk a little bit about researching a customer, why you'd want to do it, what are different use cases around it, as well as what I'll be showing in the demo environment today. So really the objective of customer research is for kind of a multiple of different things. So a lot of our customers will use this to really arm themselves with the knowledge about a customer before reaching out to them, whether that's going on site, calling them, or emailing that customer. And often this is before reaching out about an opportunity or maybe about an account plan that you're developing for a customer and going to be speaking with them in the future as well. So Entytle contains a lot of great information for your customers where you can quickly find things like contacts for that location. You can find overviews of what equipment that customer owns, what parts they've purchased, what services have been performed, are there warranties in place, and then what other opportunities are there that I should be talking to this customer about. Well, maybe I'm researching about something else as well. So there's certainly a lot of different use cases for this. There's a lot of different information in the account and location 360s, and it can be leveraged really daily for your day-to-day kind of workflows. And when you're talking and looking at your customers to really use all of that information that can be found easily inside of Entytle. So I'm going to show in the demo today how to first off start with finding the customer that you're looking for. So the different ways that you can navigate to a customer. And then I'm going to dive into the researching portion of it. So what information can you find in the overview? What can you see in the equipment, parts, services, warranty views to really get all of that historical information about a customer, as well as just go through kind of the quick differences between account and location 360s so that you're able to use this as you're working on your customer base. So with that, I'm going to jump over here to our demo now to really show what this looks like inside of the Insights platform. So I'm going to be using our demo environment here, Acme Corporation. Of course, your environment's going to look slightly different than this as far as the naming and, of course, the data that is inside of here as well. So just keep that in mind as we're going through the demo session here today. Just a couple things I want to point out. If you do have questions following today's training, or maybe you want to look into something a little bit more that we discussed here today, there is a help section in the upper right-hand corner. So you can click on that question mark, and that's going to bring you to our help section. You can also go down here to the Talk to Us, which is our in-app chat support. So again, if you have any questions, those are two great resources, as well as you can reach out directly to your customer success manager. So with that, starting off, there's a couple different ways to get to customers and to really get into that researching of your install base. So the first and really probably the easiest is the search functionality here up at the top. So this is where you can do things like type in a customer name, and that's going to pull up that customer's account, as well as things like opportunities and locations for this customer. And you can easily just click on these and go out to that customer's information. You can also do more with this. So you can type in things like an order number, a serial number, a contact's name, an address. I really like to equate it to kind of a Google for your install base. So this way you can quickly find the customer that you're looking for. This is easy to use if you're coming in here with a specific customer that you want to find, or maybe while somebody's calling in, you can just quickly look up that customer contact and then go out to the account and locations that that customer is associated with. The other way that you can get to customers is from the install base. So you can do things like here, search for a customer account. And again, that will pull up that customer account and their locations. And just a quick reminder, if you don't have the account tab, you can type that in here and add that to your quick filters. But if I go to account again and I type in Quinex, that's going to then pull up that customer. I can click on them and that's going to show me this customer's locations. And from here, I can click on the different bubbles to navigate to that customer. And I can also view all their locations from a list view and then navigate out to that customer from here, again, to get to the account and location 360s, which I'll show here in just a moment. There is two other ways to get to the customer accounts. So we have the accounts tab here as well. So this is again where you can search by an account name, and that's going to take you to the account 360, as well as you can click on these from the list view to navigate out to the customer. Now, one other way that you can get to customers, and what a lot of our customers will actually use the account 360 and location 360 for, is actually while they're working on different opportunities. So what you'll see within the opportunities and the pipeline views is with each customer opportunity, there is a location associated with this as well. So you can click on the account to get out to the actual details about a customer that this opportunity is for. As well, when you go into one of these opportunities, you can click on the customer name from here, and that will bring you to, again, that location 360. So this is really useful when you're actually working opportunities to go find the information about that customer as you're getting into them. So those are kind of the couple different ways that you can get into the customer information. I'm going to go out now to Connex Communications here to talk a little bit more about the actual account 360 and then the location 360s here as well. So starting off, I just want to talk a little bit about the difference between an account and a location 360. So the account 360 will show you all of the location details on an overview tab. So this shows you that there's 14 locations, and then the information that you're seeing here is actually for all 14 of these locations. So this is the consolidated view of the entire account. Now, how this is differentiated from Location 360 is a Location 360 will only show you the details about a location. So when you're looking into one of those, you'll just see the equipment, parts, services, and different things that have been shipped to or are installed at that actual location. So I'm going to focus on the account 360 first here, and really what you see here will be similar in the location 360, again with that difference of the data that's ultimately populating here. So the first thing that you can see on the left here is details about this account. For a lot of your specific install base, there'll be additional details about accounts here as well. Things like industry segments, will be added within the account details. Going from there, you can then see an overview of this customer. So I touched on how you can see there's 14 different locations. You can see things like the overall revenue for this customer, how much opportunity value there is for this customer, as well as look at different trends dashboards to see that this is a customer who's declining in spend. You can see things like the spend across top locations. So if you want to see, where they have most of their parts or services being performed or purchased at, you can see that from a location standpoint. You can also see things like the equipment counts by the locations, as well as what different types of categories of equipment that they own, to really just give you kind of a quick snapshot of this customer. And then you can also see details about the related locations down here at the bottom as well. So this provides just a quick overview of the 14 locations for this account. So you can see things like when they last transacted, how many equipment they own, things like the propensity to buy, which is that customer's likelihood to purchase, and then the 5-year total recurring revenue, the annual average, as well as the opportunity amount. So if you're looking for, potentially locations that have a lot of opportunity associated with them, or maybe trying to engage those locations that haven't transacted, you can find all that information down here in the Account 360 overview of the related locations. Now, this is just the overview of this, and this is helpful just to get kind of that quick snapshot of what's going on with this account. But you can also see all of the tabs up here at the top as well. And this is where you can do things like dive into the customer information more and actually get into the specifics of what equipment they own, when they purchased it, what parts they've purchased, and services as well. So I won't go into each one of these, but I'll just show a couple in here. So once you go to the equipment tab, what you'll see is an overview of the equipment that this account has purchased. So you can see things like the item category, the serial number, when it shipped, the price of that equipment, and different details about it as well. You can also further drill into the equipment. So if you click on the item category here, that's going to then bring you into the Equipment 360. Now, you're just seeing a short overview of the assets in that previous tab, and this will have more details now about this specific piece of equipment. So you can see things here like the status of the equipment, whether it's operating or maybe it's been decommissioned. You can see more details about it, like maybe when the warranty is expiring, when this shipped, when it was last serviced. There's different things like notes about the equipment. You can see if there's contacts associated with the equipment here as well. And then, of course, you have the location details about where this equipment is installed as well. There is an ability to edit this equipment details as well, or transfer the equipment. So up here at the top, you'll see two different things. Sometimes there's instances where something needs to be edited on the equipment. Maybe it's been upgraded or modified, or maybe it's been transferred to a different location. All of those things can be taken care of here inside of the equipment view if you do need to transfer or edit equipment as well. So I'm going to go back here to the account view. And with this, there's the additional tabs as well, like parts, where you can get an overview of all of the parts that have been purchased. So if you're calling this customer about maybe selling lamps in this instance, what you can see is the purchase history for those lamps, what they've been ordering, when they ordered them, how many of them. So it gives you insights into their purchase history. And then there's also things like services. So when this equipment or when this location last had services, you can see that inside of the service view here as well. Now, a lot of Account 360s and even Location 360s have a lot of transaction history, a lot of parts and equipment and services purchases. So within the transaction history, it's very easy to filter by things like the categories of equipment or part numbers so that you can see the history of just those. I know sometimes there'll be thousands of parts that are ordered by a location. So if you're looking for something specific, you can come in here and actually filter through this data, really to get down to the information that you're looking for. Just again, by selecting on here, and then selecting one of the item categories, and then that will pull up all the data about that particular item category or part or description to make it easy to find the information that you're looking for. Now, there is the option to export this information as well. So there is a download functionality where you can get this in a CSV if you want to have the details about this account or about a location to have all the information in a CSV to use for other means as well. So I'm going to jump over now to a location 360. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom and pick on the top location here. And what you'll see is that this looks very familiar to the locate or account 360. The difference again here is that now I'm looking at the details about just Laplace, Louisiana for Connects Communication. So I can see now that I'm in an account and at a location, and all the details are going to be about what has been shipped and installed at this particular location. So again, with this, you'll see things like location details about this customer. You'll see an overview here for, again, just this location, about how much equipment they own, what they've been spending, the propensity for this location to buy, as well as just, again, those quick snapshots so you can have those details about this customer. And now you'll see a couple of differences down here at the bottom where it will show things like the last transactions for this customer, their service contracts status, if they do have any as well. And then you'll see things like top opportunities and top contacts. So this is really useful when you're reaching out to a customer. Maybe you're trying to target them to re-engage them. Maybe you're reaching out about a specific opportunity. This is where you can find things like, what else should I be talking to this customer about? So you can do things like look at all of the opportunities associated for this location by going to the Opportunities tab. And you can see if you're talking to them about maybe a service contract renewal. You can also talk to them about, potential parts that they should be purchasing, as well as maybe different upgrade opportunities there are for their equipment. So this allows you to not only see what you wanted to talk with them about, but also what are some other things that you could potentially engage this customer on where there's opportunity as well. And then similarly, there is, of course, the breakouts of the equipment and parts and services for this location so that you are able to see all of the details again that are pertaining to just this individual location. So once you complete this review, this is where a lot of our customers are coming in to really understand, what's happened at this location, maybe what they should be talking to them about, as well as using this for really researching different opportunities, again, to arm themselves with the knowledge of this individual customer before trying to engage them. So there's a lot of different use cases for this. A lot of different information within these account and location 360s. But hopefully with this, gave you a really good understanding of where you can find the information that you're looking for and what is contained within each one of these different sections here. Now, I did see a couple of questions come in, and I'm just going to take a moment to address those here as well. So we have one question here, which is, can you create an opportunity after looking into accounts? So that is a great question and definitely a use case as you're researching these. So what a lot of our customers will do is actually come in here for things like account planning, or they're trying to see, what they could be talking to a customer about and using the data in here to kind of uncover, potential opportunities. And really the next step of that is, of course, tracking that. So there is the ability to create opportunities directly from the account and location 360s. So up here in the upper right, there is this plus icon. And this is where you can then select new opportunity. And then you'll just need to fill out the additional details here. And then you can create this opportunity, which will then be associated with this location. You can also create opportunities at the account level as well. So this is really a good kind of next actionability step if you aren't just researching a customer about an opportunity that's already been generated. You can create new opportunities inside of the account and location 360s as well. So another question that came in here is, what do I do if I find incorrect information? So that's definitely something that, can be uncovered as you go through the location and account 360 details. You might find things like the example I gave where there's equipment that's in the wrong spot, or maybe it's moved locations or no longer being serviced. So you can make edits to the equipment details in here. You can also make edits to the location details as well as the account details as well. So there might be instances where maybe a location's purchased by another customer. You can do things like transfer a location under a new account. You can also do things like edit the location if, say, for example, the address has changed or you found it to be incorrect. So you can make those changes here. There could be instances where you think there might be equipment missing or there might be parts missing as well. And as part of the implementations, we always do an exhaustive UAT to try and uncover any data gaps. But if you do find those, I'd recommend raising those in the chat channel, as well as reaching out to your customer success manager or to your main point of contact for Entytle within your organization. And we can ensure that we address any data gaps or issues to prevent those from popping up in the future as well. I do see one other question here about column configuration. So they're asking if there's a way to see kind of different details about equipment or for parts. So there is the ability now to configure your view here. So if you click on the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a setting called user configuration. And this is where you can actually customize your view for the different details you want to see about equipment. So you'll see in the equipment view I was just showing that these are the details that are displayed in their order that they're in, but you can actually add and remove columns. So if you would rather see something like the order date versus the ship date, or maybe have both of these within the equipment view, you can just select those, and then that's going to add that to the equipment view. You can also do things like drag these around so that they're in a different order for how you want to view the install base. Similarly, you can delete things out here. So maybe you don't need to see the business unit for parts. You can delete that. And similarly, you can add in and remove more columns here as well. So this allows you to really customize the information that you're seeing inside of your location and account 360s. And like you can see here, I now have the order date available so that I can see that in addition to the ship date. So this really allows you to customize your view, again, to make it more usable for how you want to research your customers. So I have one other question from Jim about an issue with the data populating within the install base view. Jim, we'll have to follow up with you separately on that to see what's going on there. We'll figure out that issue and make sure that's resolved so you aren't seeing that anymore as well. But let me have our team follow up with you to resolve that issue. All right. I think that covers everything here for our account research. So I want to again thank everybody for joining here today. Hopefully, you found today's session useful on how you can really research the customers that you have within your install base. Just as a quick reminder, our next session will be May 8th on creating and working a pipeline. And if you do have any suggestions, recommendations, always trying to make these sessions more useful for you. So please feel free to drop us a note with anything you'd like to see in the future. Appreciate everybody's time. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and thanks again for joining.